All right then. So, how may I help you? Oh darn it! I had this all set up. So what this is a discussion with an artificial intelligence over strategy planning. It's taken me. What is it now? Oh well, 22:56. I think I started this at 10 o'clock. I said start strategy scenario planning session. Subject: how does the growing tension between the UK government, the Metropolitan Police, Palestine action and defend our juries play out? So we spend a certain amount of time. I was going to go slower than that, just so that you can see if you need to by pausing how much it thinks about, and then it gives me some results. It says scenario 1, escalation and radicalization. Scenario 2, legal and political retreat. Scenario 3, stalemate and operational fatigue. Oh, scenario 4, splintering and militancy. I won't go on about it. I said in response to this, some suggestions, which was refocus on Palestine and not on British fascism. These were just like ideas being kicked out. And so it adjusts its strategies, or rather its scenarios. We were only scenario planning at this stage. We were not specifically planning a strategy to increase the probability of strategy being in pursuit of a particular goal or something like that. I am here beginning to cross over to ask what is our best outcome. Then we talk a little bit, or it thinks a little bit more, and it does some more, and I'm going far too fast. So let's just see what the escalated scenarios are. Apology for the immunity gambit. Starmer Cooper fall on sword dialogue. What Starmer might say to the nation. What will happen if people continue to show up in London? What is the end game? Collapse of the UK government, international isolation. I said, how are we modelling Palestine action in this process? It's a collective agent, I mean, in the thinking I could see that it used language like PA attacks continue, but I don't think they correctly characterize. I did spend a lot of time correcting its perspective as I saw it on things. Let's scrap flawed assumptions and rebuild Palestine Action's model from first principles, grounded in their actual doctrine, limitations, and the state's self-destructive overreach. So we sort of worked out between us, AI and I, that Palestine Action would go away if Palestine had a ceasefire and had no exports of arms from Britain to. The problem would just be over in a fraction of a second. I didn't get to the point of saying the damage has been done in Gaza. It of course got into a here's my analysis of what did, and I said we don't have to write their doctrine for them. We have to understand what their doctrine is. We are modeling outcomes. You see what I mean? I was trying to be as So there's a certain amount of text to read here if you really wanted to, and how it revised its scenarios and what the scenarios were. And at some point I decided that it was reasonable to just take their model of what might happen and who might say to anything to what to who. Was a fairly good sort of characterization. I said you still got defend our juries mischaracterized because they explicitly express protesters to hold up the words I support an end to genocide. I support Palestine action. And so then we went through that and so on. The state static judicial humiliation sounds interesting. Jury nullification epidemic pathway is the European Court of Human Rights nuclear option. Support for non-violent civil disobedience does not equal terrorism. The UK has acted unlawfully. That's possible. And we're here still working out and making sure that it understands what prescription actually is, proscribing a particular organization and so on. Yes, the canon. So it's still modeling pathways. We've spent a lot of time, but I mean, the thing is that by it not getting it right doesn't mean to say that my own thinking hasn't progressed. Back to strategy. Who else is involved? So eventually we get some information here about the Defence Secretary and rebel MPs and lords and so on, how the RAF are involved and intelligence. It introduced intelligence. I forgot about intelligence being an actor or an agent on this stage. And then I still say it is still quaint. His analysis is quaintly British because Elon Musk said civil war. And then it told me that civil war is both unlikely and what was the gist of it? Is neither inevitable nor in progress, I think is what we concluded. So we've got open-ended prediction in terms of date, and we aren't sure what the likely outcomes are. So I steered it into 3-4 months ahead scenarios. It thinks for 14 seconds, and it says here are the high impact 4-month scenarios as to how this thing will actually work itself out. I'm not going to give this the time of day in the sense that it is may or may not be true. I told it to put in a 0.3% probability for some things that we haven't even imagined might take place, and this is its strategic outlook. And I will document the final output on my Facebook page. So I think that's quite good. No, not really. 8 minutes 50 still takes a long time, doesn't it? But it's a minute and a half shorter than I've managed to do one of these before. So I think that's quite good, really.